Don't smile. You'll fuck up the makeup. Sorry. This is not a joke. You are terror incarnate. Terror incarnate. The ruler of chaos and death. Yeah. And remember, you have to get your poses right, too. Everyone around you are disgusting, worthless little insects. We are lords of chaos.
Welcome to the Metal Block. Here is your host, Eric.
We are the Lords of Chaos. What's up, everyone? What's up, Nico, as known as Ghul?
Yeah.
Anybody remember the episode? What was it? Episode 2 I had you on? You and the
Yes,
demon
sir.
there? Yeah.
Yep.
It was from the band Darkness My Desire.
Evil.
Yeah. You guys are still celebrating that album you put out in I'll still never get the title right. Inmissile. Irminsul.
Yeah, man. So, what, almost 2 months now? Yeah.
Yeah. As you can see, we're all decked out in our corpse paint.
Yes.
It's a special occasion. Because what we're going to do, this year was a good year for not only just for metal and rock and whatever your music you're into. Just, I remember when the year first started out, maybe 4 months into it, I was thinking, man, there's not a whole lot of stuff coming out. It's like my record collection's it's looking bare for this year. But all of a sudden, everything just started coming at me left and right, especially with the black metal. And so we had, I think, a pretty damn good year in black metal. And here we are at the end of the year. We're going into 2024. And I thought it'd be cool to just do, I normally do my top 10 every year, and I thought it'd be cool to bring on somebody who is like-minded with the black metal mindset and share his top 10. And that's what Nico's here for. Because we might have some of the same bands in our list, but we don't know. I don't know, but I know some of his bands he's got on this list, and he probably knows some of mine, but we don't know where they rank. And the beauty of it is, if we have something the same, he might have it in a different ranking than mine. So it'd be like kind of, wow, like that album hits him in a different way than it hits me, or he might have something I never even heard of. And then all of a sudden I'm going to become like a fan and boom, and then it might be vice versa. Yeah. And so turn each other on to some new stuff that we never heard before. Right. Yeah. So what does black metal mean to you, Nico? Like how long have you been into it? What got you into black metal? What was your introduction to this drug we call black metal?
Yeah. For me, it was when I became more into my teen years. So it would have been like mid to late 90s. The first black metal band I ever heard was Emperor. And that's like, I was hooked day one. Eisen, just the guitar runs that dude writes is just insane. And especially for the time when he was writing it, like it was early 90s. You had your bands like Mayhem and Dark Throne who are doing this more like cave metal kind of sounding thing. And then you got Emperor coming out and it's like full on like symphonic, it was nuts. It would be Emperor.
I think I remember getting that first album of theirs. I don't know if it was the one with it was before they kind of went real symphonic, but it was black and white with the red logo, and it's just black.
With the horse on it.
And what was the album called that has kind of a copper cabinet cover and like kind of a collage of the faces of the band members, but it's like kind of a copper kind of color. Because that's the first real Emperor album I bought, and I was like, wow, this shit's crazy.
Oh, that one's nuts. Yeah, that's IX Equilibrium.
Yeah. And I just finally got that back on vinyl like last year.
Nice,
I used to have it on CD, and I mean, he's a brilliant composer too. I think he does. When he's on an Emperor, doesn't he compose? I think he does like symphonies and things, or composes stuff for movies.
He does like soundtracks and stuff, and then now he's like on his own as Eisen, doing basically the same stuff, but it seems like a lot more eclectic, I would say now. Like he's mixing in like saxophones and crazy shit in there.
Yeah, oh cool.
So. Yeah, he's interesting, but that's like the reason why I even picked up a guitar was for Eisen. So and then just Emperor, Cradle of Filth, Dimmu Borgir, stuff like that. Those were my first introductions to black metal.
Yeah,
and just like that whole ethos of it, the whole spirituality behind it, and everything is just like. I don't know. It's like a drug, man. You can't. I've been hooked ever since. So
because we always had like death metal and thrash, and that was always cool. But it's like what I liked about death metal was, or death metal, but what I loved about black metal was you had this image kind of going with it was real dark and just made you feel like everything was just cold and like suicidalness, but not suicidal in a bad way, but in,
but there's like a mystery. It's like a mystery, right? So you don't know, which is kind of cool. And then you have new bands like Uwada, who like you don't even know what they fucking look like or whatever. Right? So there's a whole mystique behind bands, which is kind of cool.
Yeah,
and being a Satanist as well, so it helps, like, you know, with the occult stuff. You know, I got some bones here and whatnot.
Yeah. Do you go around Canada and start burning churches down, or what? No, just kidding.
I will neither deny nor confirm that.
That's the thing, man. Like, you know, here in you know, when I lived in California, like we have gangbangers go around tagging buildings, and in Norway, it's like guys are freaking burning churches down. And gangbangers are killing each other over drugs and territory, and they're killing each other because they're not devil or evil enough, you know.
Right.
Crazy. Yeah. I mean, I'd say my first stint in black metal. You know, I go way back. Obviously, I'm a little older than you, but you know, and we didn't call it black metal at the time, even though Venom had the album called Black Metal, which coined that phrase. But you know, Bathory to me is always going to be considered, like, for me, the godfather of black metal, the guy who kind of at the time didn't probably know he was black metal, but just he inspired like Mayhem and all those guys that I guess you could say the second wave of black metal. And then Mayhem would come out. And I remember when Mayhem first came out, I wasn't really into him that much because at that time I was kind of listening to more prog type of metal and sort of more melodic stuff. And my drummer was really into it. He was getting into all these bands and trying to turn me on to him. I was like, dude, that sounds kind of, you know, noisy. Like, for some reason, I love Bathory. Bathory is totally unproduced and really noisy, but just so much energy. But for some reason, it wasn't working for me for when I heard other bands do it. And until like later on, a little bit later, I started getting it. I was like, okay, wait, I get this. This is pretty brutal.
Yeah, it's like you have to understand it, right? Like once you understand it, then you're like, oh, okay, now I get what you're doing.
right. Yeah. And then later in the show, what we're going to do, I have a friend. I went to high school with this guy named Michael Rammel. And it was a couple months back, we were on Facebook, me and Nico, and we were in some comments or something. And, you know, Mike was talking about how he doesn't really like black metal. He doesn't understand it, doesn't understand why it's, you know, because he's more into death metal and prog. He likes stuff that's more technical and stuff. And I don't know, I think he was saying something like black metal is just simple stuff or whatever. He could write a black metal song in 10 minutes. And you know, so okay, we're going to do a challenge, man. We're going to play some black metal for you. We're going to see if you like it, see if we can turn you on to it. And, you know, I got a couple songs we're going to play for him. And he's going to be like the black metal critic. And then, But the beauty of it is, man, we got this top 10 list. And did you how much do you have like an idea of how much money you spent on music this year, or do you mostly stream your stuff anyway?
This year I've been doing a lot more streaming than buying records, to be honest with you. Records are kind of expensive, but especially where you live. And it's been one of those years, like Canada, I don't know what it's like in the States for buying a record, but like $50 a record is pretty kind of nuts right now.
Like here in the States, I think you guys are like maybe $20 ahead of us. Like if something was $30 for me, it might be 50 for you or something.
So I haven't bought too many, but I've definitely got my fair share of records this year. So it's been good.
Good. Now, is there any stuff that you've discovered, like you were thinking, like you know, because I'm sure you have your bands that you really like and you look forward to their new albums when they come out and stuff, but was there a good amount of bands that you discovered for the first time or that's in your list?
This year I discovered a couple of bands that are actually on my top 10 list that I never heard of before. But for the most part, I've been just kind of keeping an eye on the bands that I usually listen to and see what they're putting out, or going back and buying stuff that are like, you know, older that I never had before. And now it's like, I got it on vinyl kind of thing. So.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Cause that's what I was just like, I'd be on, I got my band I always look forward to. You know, there's a couple bands I wish would put out a new album, like Asagram, which is the female black metal band. They're due for a new one. I think their last one was 2019, maybe.
Actually, they put one out this year.
Oh, they did? Oh shit! Then I gotta go. Must have missed it. I did see a live concert that they posted on YouTube.
They did,
recently. So okay, shit, I'm gonna have to check it. Was it a full album or is it like an EP or something?
I think it's just an EP. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look for that. Damn, I should have got it. I mean, they would have probably made my list, but I don't know. We'll see. I mean, because their second album to me was not as good as their first album, but it was still good, you know. But you know, bands like that. But I did discover quite a new bands as far as just by clicking around on YouTube, and you know, there's that one Black Metal Promotions YouTube channel. And if you're check out on
Yep.
YouTube.
Yep.
Yeah, something I got the little bell clicked on, so I get these notifications all the time, and whenever they have like
Nice.
a new streaming premiere or something, I'm like, oh, okay, that sounds cool. And so I discovered like at least 2 or 3, maybe 5 or 6 of bands this year that's been around forever, and you feel like a late bloomer, like, oh, I'm just now getting into them. It's like I look at it like this, man. Hey, it might be an old band for somebody, but it's a new band for me, and it's like I'm reaping those benefits because to me it's new and fresh. So,
absolutely.
That's how I look at it. Yeah. Okay. So you want to get into this top 10?
Let's do it.
Too. All right. Let's see here. Let me. I know I'm black metal, but I have bad eyes, so I got to put on my glasses. But I can still look cool because I can put these on as well.
There you go.
Yeah.
You look like black metal Lemmy.
Metal Lemmy. Yeah. Killed by them. Oh yeah, brother. Let's see. You got some candles going. What is that? Like, what's those bones you got there?
So I got here. It's it's like
dude, your wife. No, I was kidding.
She's at work, so
okay. Yeah, right. Okay.
Lucky her. It's a spinal column from some animal. I don't know. I had a friend that's a hunter, and she picked up a whole bunch of bones for me. So
cool.
I had a spinal column, and then I got a sheep skull here.
Oh, nice.
And then I got some candles, and I got my little fancy goblet there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Keeping it spooky.
Yeah, I should have broke out. I do have like what's probably fake though, but I think it's from a dinosaur. It looks like a big dinosaur skull or whatever. But it looks real, nice. Like a real skull.
That's pretty cool.
I hunt dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's do this. So we're gonna do from the top 10. We're gonna go through each list. We're gonna go through like we're gonna take turns. Like Nicole's gonna name his 10, number 10. We're gonna go from the bottom to the top. In other words, a weighted list. In other words, top 10 down to the number 1 countdown, basically.
Absolutely.
So like you'll do your 10, I'll do my 10. Talk about a little bit, show a clip if we have one, and
sure.
And then when we get to before we name our number 1, and when we get to about number 5, we'll bring in Mike and he could just sit in until we're done with our list, and maybe he might get inspired by a few of them as well. But and then before we hit our number 1, we'll do some honorable mentions, and if we have any of those, and because there's those bands that are really good, but they just didn't make the list because it's hard when you do it in 10. Like if it was a 20, then boom, it would have been right there. Those
for sure.
Because I always do a top 20 of like overall music. I'll probably do that sometime in a couple weeks, and of all the albums that came out this year, and some of the black metal might end up on that, but that's gonna be more of a wider range of music. Might even be some Depeche Mode in there because they're the only ones that came out with a new album that's not metal that I have. And,
fair.
This is the metal block. It's got to be metal all the time.
Right. No Corey Feldman here.
Yeah. Corey Feldman's not brutal.
Although his stage performances are.
Yeah. I would love to get Corey. I should actually pretend I like him just so I get him on the show.
Right. Sorry, Corey.
Like, Corey, what about that Funko you got, man? A Funko Pop.
Yeah.
Selling that thing for like $80, man.
Jesus Christ.
It's autographed, apparently.
Oh, well.
I don't trust it, though, because like it says pre-sale or pre-order. It's like, he's got a box that he's promoting, and it's like, it's not even made yet. It's supposed to come with some kind of hologram or something, but yeah, I don't trust ordering it because you'll probably never see it, Because
probably not.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he has a big budget for it.
No.
Enough for Corey Feldman. What's your number? What is your number 10 2023 release of black metal? Is it something I have? Is it something I don't? What is it?
I don't know. All right. So my number 10 is Hell Ripper, Warlocks Grim and Withered Hags.
Nice.
Some good old black and thrash for you there.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
So that's my number 10.
Okay. I think I got a picture of the album cover. Let me see. Let me look it up here.
Nice.
Yeah.
And that's a band I discovered this year. I didn't know nothing about them, and a friend of mine turned them on to me.
They're one of the new ones too that I discovered, and for me it was the name. I was like, "Fucking Hell Ripper! I gotta have that band." That was before I even listened.
Yeah,
to it.
yeah.
And then I see the album cover, and I'm like, oh, "Okay, I gotta have that." So yeah, I did get it. Let me play a little clip of them just so the audience can see what we're talking about. This song is called "Goat Vomit Nightmare."
Seeking another one. The
about it. It sounds so like classic, like reminds me a little bit of Destruction, like early Destruction, the German
Yeah. Yep.
has that in it.
Yep.
It's got, it's definitely got the black metal. And after I got it, someone was telling me that one of my friends was like, who knew more about them, is like, it's just one guy. I go, really?
Yeah.
I look it up. It's just the one guy who made all it, but I guess he probably puts together a band for his live show. And he's real technical.
Yep.
Great production on that. I mean, that's definitely
It's a solid 10 for sure. Yeah.
Solid 10 at number 10, but still, my number 10 is.
What do you got?
I don't have a clip, but I put a Black Braid number 2. This is, I wish they would be a little bit more creative with their album titles, but I get it. And then like the album artwork looks like the same artwork as the first one, just more colors in it. But this is another band that's like one guy, right? Like I guess he's the one dude that does everything, and then hires a bunch of.
That seems to be the way to go these days, eh?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, man. That's why I'm sticking. Just I keep thinking, should I put together a band? I was like, fuck that, man. I can't deal with other personalities, man.
Right. That's why there's only one other person in my band, man.
That's all you need. It's just one person or yourself. That's it. But the reason why this actually album, when I first heard it, I loved it. I mean, there's some great stuff. It just started kind of going down my list a little bit as far as the more I kind of heard about the singer. I heard he's kind of a weird dude and kind of from what I heard, like it was the news that he played some festival in over there in the Netherlands, and it was a festival that's supposed to be like inclusive with a bunch of different bands from all over the world. But apparently he got kicked off it, and he started saying it's because of his skin color, because he's native. But what they were saying is, and there's multiple witnesses that came forward to said it, that confirmed it, that he just showed up totally wasted and drunk and was just a total nightmare to work with, and that's why they kicked him off. So I don't know, and then but. Got to separate the artist from the music, right? Because
that's right. Yeah,
that's the only reason why I took a dive as far as going from like number 5 to down to 10. And not only that, because the more because I didn't know I had that many black metal releases this year. I thought I only had maybe 8. But then I was like, wait, that could be black metal. That's actually black metal. Maybe they don't look black metal. That's black metal. And so then it just sort of like, okay, that sounds better than that one. That sounds better than that one. It just sort of whittled it down, and so yeah.
That's the crazy thing about black metal now, though, is that like it expands beyond its own genre. So
and it's starting, which is cool. And they're starting to, there's starting to be more, not so much one type of rhythm and just the drowning minor chords going, dissonant chords. They're starting to incorporate a lot of different like time signatures, and especially like what you heard in Hell Ripper there. A lot of riffs going on, and so because black metal for a little bit started getting almost to be a parody of itself, where it's like, okay, like you can sort of like stereotype it, and you can almost like put in like a Saturday Night Live sketch or something, and people be like, oh, just like how they do with goth people like on TV, like they're from the mall, but they're like they're not really capturing the real goth look or whatever. It's like so that's my number 10, Black Braid. Yours is Hell Ripper.
Nice.
What do you got coming in at number 9?
Number 9, we're gonna go with another Black and Thrash band that I discovered, which I also discovered that I really actually like Black and Thrash this year, which is kind of nuts. It's Necrofire with Burning Shadows in the Southern Night.
Oh, nice.
So that's another black thrash, kind of almost in the same vein as Hell Ripper, but a little bit more melodic, I think, in my opinion. So
we don't have a picture or clip of them, but what are they called again?
Necrofire.
Necrofire. Okay.
Yeah.
We have to look that shit up, man. See, turn me on to shit I've never heard of.
There you go.
To go out and get it. I'm gonna have to spend more money thanks to you, man.
Sorry.
That's all good. It's money well spent.
Right?
Okay,
gotta support the artist.
My number 9 is this album should rank a little bit higher, but again, it's one of those things where the more I'm going through my albums and listening to them at the last minute, it started kind of going down and down and down. But Cloak.
Oh yeah.
Cloak. What's the name of the album? It's like, I'm really bad with my glasses here. Do I have a picture of it? Bad with or album titles, man. Anyway, everyone knows it's Cloak year 2023.
There you go. Yeah. Solid band. Yeah, I'm glad you picked that one. That's a good one.
I know I got a clip of them here. Here they are. Here's a clip. like that. It almost sound like Ghost.
Nice. They kind of do. You know what they really remind me of actually is that band Tribulation.
Oh,
Remember
yeah,
Tribulation?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what turned me on to Cloak. Actually, was Tribulation.
Okay. Black Flame Eternal. That's the name of the album. Black Flame Eternal.
There you go.
Yeah. Now let me ask you. Now let me guess. There's probably he's probably another one-man band too, right? You think or no? Or is that a full band?
Honestly, I don't know.
Yeah. I'm going to read it.
I bet he is. Yeah. Do some more research there.
Yeah. One-man band. One-man black metal band.
Right.
What was that? That was my number 9.
Yep.
What is your number 8? Coming in at number 8 for Nico Ghull.
So number 8, we're going to change things up a little bit. We're going to slow it right down, and we're going to go with my number 8 is Wolves in the Throne Room, and they released an album called Crypt of Ancestral Knowledge, and that's like definitely like more atmospheric black metal. It kind of just paints like a spooky little picture.
Yeah, matter of fact, I was seeing their name a lot, like especially on YouTube. It would come up, and I'd see them on festivals, and I think, well, that's a cool looking name. And I think I saw a picture of them; they look really cool. And then when you told me they were on your list, I was like, and then downloaded a clip for them, and everything is like, damn, I missed this one. I got to get this album, man.
Yep.
Sounds
it's a good one.
Yeah,
and it's only an EP. It's not even a full album.
Really?
It's 4 songs, man. Yeah,
4 songs. Yeah. That's another thing a lot of bands are doing recently. Like a lot of bands are just doing the EP thing, or 2 or 3 songs, 4 songs at the most. And
yeah, I think they're just doing a lot, like, because a lot of these bands now, they're releasing like an album every 2 years or so.
Yeah.
So they put out an EP in between there to kind of, especially with COVID, you got to keep people interested, right? Like if you weren't touring. So, but yeah, another solid one if you're into atmospheric black metal, very kind of ritualistic. Wolves in the Throne Room.
Yeah. Now that's a long name, but I can't really consider that as like an emo sounding name or a screamo, or what was I saying? The metalcore sounding name.
Oh, a metalcore name. Yeah.
I always say like a metalcore usually has like a sentence for a name, but they get away with it somehow. Wolves in the Throne Room doesn't sound like a metalcore band, even though
no.
Even though it's more than 3 words. Here's a clip.
Right.
Here's a clip of Wolves in the Throne Room. So I had to play that Cusick part. It sounds fucking bad.
Oh yeah, so cool.
I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna have to order that like right after we get done with this. Matter of fact,
yeah, no doubt.
Just do it right now. If I go into Amazon and shit, get that shit right now.
Right.
And then one video, I was like showing myself buying an album right there on video, and I think, well, shit, I'm showing my credit card information. I better not do that again.
Well, I'll be buying albums.
Yeah, right. There's an album on me. Here's 10 albums on me.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, right. So that was your number 8.
What's your number 8, man? Yeah.
My number 8 is here's a band that went from 3 members. Then I think they put out an album 2 years ago, and they were down to 2 members. Now they're down to just a one-man band, and that's Immortal.
Oh yeah.
I think it's just down to the one guy. I think his name Damians or whatever his name is.
Demonaz.
Yeah, I'm really bad with names and titles. But I love the album cover. It's
cool. Yeah,
it's fucking bad. But I love. I don't know. It's kind of nothing complex as far as they're not. He's not inventing the wheel with black metal. It's just very traditional sounding. But I like what I like about it is there's a lot of cool like melodic sounding riffs, and it's just got cool, like just they're not really fast or anything. Just really driving beats in a sense. And like I'll play. Here's a little clip for those who don't know Immortal. This song is called War God. So like I just
Hell
like
yeah.
dun, 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 like them, and like almost all the songs are like that. And one thing I have to say about him though, like, I mean, I love a Bath, or a Bat, however you say his name, especially
Yeah.
the first two albums. But that third album, I was really hoping to really love it, and it was actually last year it was going to make my kind of high on the list, but it ended up going really low because the production is just a mess on that thing. It's like I don't know what you think. I mean, I feel bad because it's like everyone's telling me, "Oh, your album's so." I think he's surrounded by a bunch of yes people, probably, but I don't know.
Seems like it, yeah.
If I was his producer, I would have said, "We're not putting that shit out, man. You need to fucking fix that shit hard."
Yeah, no doubt.
I mean,
Poor guy.
the Metallica cover he did on there called "Trapped in Their Ice" from the Red Light. That actually sounded really good. I was probably the best thing that came out on it. But it's good packaging, good imagery, artwork on it, and so. But I'm always gonna like a Bath no matter what. He's just such a cool character, and fucking. I want to interview him one day, but if he watches this, I probably won't ever get the interview because last album was poorly produced. But he's got to know that, man. I mean, he's an alcoholic. I mean, I'm an alcoholic too. Like, I don't know if you saw that clip of him when he played that show in Argentina, and he just totally fucking went off and stage dive and was like fucking holding up the show, and man, it was classic shit. And I guess he went into rehab like right after that, but from my understanding, now he drinks more control. He's like, I got under more control. Like now he doesn't get drunk on stage anymore. So
that's nice of him.
yeah. Dude, I tried that too. Like, but I was still a wreck afterwards. Like my band members were like, "You can't drink on stage anymore." Like, okay, I'll stop drinking on stage, but that didn't help because I was still a freaking wreck afterwards.
Right? You said not on stage. I'm not on stage anymore.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. So that was my number 8. Now we're down to number 7. Top
Lucky
10.
Number 7.
There's 7 for you.
My number 7, we're going to change gears a little bit, going for a more raw black metal band. It's called, and it's actually a band I just discovered this like recently in the last month or so. Okay. They're called Ritual Clearing, and the album is called Penitence.
Ritual what? Ritual cleaning or clearing?
Clearing.
Clearing. Oh, cool. Ritual.
Yeah. So,
okay.
Never heard of them before, but it's like more of a raw black metal sound, kind of like in the veins of like Mork.
Okay. Do you know where they're from? Like, are they?
Not a clue.
are they corpse paint wearing black metal, or more like there's a?
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I have to look them up.
Yeah, they just kind of popped up on one of my Facebook groups, and everyone was like, "Ritual Clearing, this album's great. You should check it out." And I'm like, "I did," and I'm like, "Oh, it is actually great."
I mean, that's how I discovered most of my music, just by the name, or like the name sounds interesting, or album cover artwork. And I usually score pretty good. Like I'm usually satisfied with what I hear or what I see, just based on just the looks, But I've done that even that's how I discovered music as a kid. It was like, the 12 cassettes for a penny. You get to pick out a bunch of them, and you just hope for the best, going by the album.
Right. Some of my favorite albums are like I bought based on the artwork, so not knowing a damn thing about them, which is kind of the best way to find music, I think. But
yeah, man, it's all about the sea of madness out there, man. Just music,
right?
It's just a whole sea of it, and the beauty of it is that it's so open and free now, because you don't have to buy a lot of music. You can just listen to the shit, and you can actually discover bands like your band, Darkness My Desire. You can discover a band like them just by clicking around and just by watching shows like this and stuff like that. And then you find out, wow, this band is just as good as like the bands that are signed, or it's been around forever. And you get these 2 guys in Canada, right, putting out these fucking killer ass tracks and shit.
There you go.
So my number 7. We're on number 7, right?
Yes, sir.
My number 7 is Demon King, and like you, this is a band that I just discovered recently, like in the past couple of weeks, actually. I was like,
oh, nice.
Just by the name, I was like, clicking around, and I like the album cover artwork. Now I looked at their image, and they don't really have like a black metal image, and I think they might be they're from France or Spain or one of those countries, but nothing wrong with that. I mean, the short hair guys or whatever, but nowadays you can wear short hair and play metal. It's always been like
that's right. I don't even have hair, so
yeah, you don't got hair, man. You either got to be bald or long hair, but the guys with the short hair look like they work at an office or something. Yeah, but they can get away with it. As long as you're fucking brutal, man, you can get away with that shit. Yeah.
That's right.
Demon King, what I like about them is they're black metal, but they're very technical sounding. Matter of fact, when we bring Mike on, I'm gonna probably play a track from I'll save I have a track picked out, but to play, but we'll wait till we bring Mike on and people can hear what they sound like. And Yeah, because they're pretty technical. Yeah, I think you might like them as well. So
nice.
Well, Demon King is number 7 for me.
All right.
For you, number 666.
Number 6. Another band I just discovered recently. One of my friends posted it because they were running out of vinyl on their Bandcamp page. So I had to check it out, and it's called One of Nine, and the album is called Eternal Sorcery. And the thing that I love about them is, if you know me, you know Watain is one of my favorite bands of all time.
They were actually my number 1 favorite black metal of last year.
Nice, yeah. Which is solid band. So yeah, One of Nine very much reminds me of like a Watain kind of band. And yeah, I don't know too much about them because I literally just discovered them, and once I played the album, I'm like, oh, this is definitely going in my top 10 for sure. It's so good.
Once I looked them up, and I felt the same. I was like, oh, okay, another album I got to get. Here's a clip of One of Nine. Nice production on that.
Yeah, it's a really good sounding album.
A lot of people think you have to have really bad production to be black metal. Like, no, I mean, it kind of used to be that way just because that was the thing. Like, you want to just sound like you're raw and this and that. But I mean, but you still want some good production, but you can still sound raw and stuff and have good production, and that's what
exactly.
Like doing.
Yeah, definitely. It's a solid band for sure. All right, what's your number 6, my friend?
My number 6 is the band I was talking about earlier before we started taping. When I just discovered, I don't have their CD yet, but I'm waiting for it in the mail. But there's a band called Death of a King, and they're
cool.
And here's what they look like. I think they kind of remind me of Iwata. They have kind of an image like where I guess you don't know what they look like, and I've tried finding stuff from them, and like this is the only thing I found on their Bandcamp.
Oh, cool.
I'm thinking that's them,
Yeah.
But I tried to find information on them, but I just couldn't find anything. And on their Bandcamp, it's very vague as far as what they're about and stuff. So, but this song is called Planetary Madness. So they got a lot of the whole astronomy stuff going. It took a while to get the vocals come in. I know the drums can be a little bit mixed a little bit better, but yeah, I mean, it's the album cover that really draws me to it because it's like when I see that it just makes, I wish I could see like I want a big poster of that because I can sit there and just stare into it. It kind of makes you feel like you're gonna just like you can meditate to that picture, you know, because it's so.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
Man, that one.
kind of looks like if you're dreaming about being in space or just somewhere like
yeah,
on the moon. Antimatter is the name of the album.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's pretty cool. We'll learn more about those guys as we
move
on towards 2024. Hopefully, yeah, get them on the show. No, just kidding.
Right? That'd be nice.
Yeah. Okay, that was my number 6. Now we're hitting number 5. Or did you say your number 6 yet? Because your number 6 was
1 of 9.
1 of 9. Okay, yeah. So now we're into, so your number 5, right? Is coming up.
I'm on my number 5. Yep.
Number 5. What is your 5?
Number 5. My 5 alive is a band called Outlaw, and the album is called Reaching Beyond Isaiah. And again, it's, you know, if you sound like Watain, I'm probably gonna like you. So it's very, very much a Watain sounding band. Nice, clean production. Just pummel the shit out of you the whole way through. It's solid number 5 album.
Yeah, I pulled up a clip of them, and I noticed that the name is like unique for a black metal band, like Outlaw. You know,
right?
You think
Western,
like yeah. So here's a clip of Outlaw. Nice. I like that. They had blood, look like they had blood on their face, and
They
look like where they from? Do you know where they're from at all, or because they look like
not a clue?
Or some reason Latin, like they either look Latino or they kind of look Native American kind of too. Like
kind of, they're from hell.
Yeah, right. They're from hell. Yeah. I like that.
All right.
So that was
your number 5.
My number 5 is a band that I discovered this year. But I guess they've been around for a while, and I think they're a 2-piece band. Lamp of Murmur.
Ooh.
Yeah, Lamp of Murmur. Lamp of Murmur. And the album is Sanatorium Bloodstorm. But
nice.
Very kind of almost reminds me of Dimmu Borgir a little bit, like earlier Dimmu Borgir, like so some of the
you know what they really remind me of? The comparison for me was 1349.
Oh yeah,
early 1340, like the Hellfire kind of album.
Yeah,
just like pummel the shit out of you. Yeah, it's good album too.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, good band. It's like, you know, and this was actually when I first got this, I was like, this is gonna be my number 1 record of the number 1 black metal album. But then, like I said, more stuff kept coming out. So, I don't know if
I feel you.
I don't know if I pulled up a clip of them or not. I thought I did, but I guess I didn't.
Whoopsie.
Lamp of Murmur. Yeah, I thought I did anyway. But anyway, get out there and Google Lamp of Murmur. Make sure you spell it right. Am I saying it right?
Yeah.
Murmur.
Murmur. Like a murmur. Yeah.
Like a heart murmur, maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
Number 5. We're getting closer to number 4. We should bring Mike in. He can sit in on the rest of our list. The guy that we're, you know, my buddy from high school. We've grown up together, and you know, I think he's still living in Atwater, California, or in that area. But nice. Yeah, we're gonna try to flip him into some black metal, and he can sit in on our last 4. And then we're gonna play a little game with the guy, man, and see if we can turn him onto some black metal. So we're gonna get Mike in here. Yeah. Hey, recording resume. There he is. There's Mike Rammel. You know, me and him went to high school together. We've been friends for how long? Brothers, basically. How many years have we known each other, Mike?
Oh, wow. Since probably 85.
85, yeah.
Wow.
You play guitar. I play guitar. I think you've been to my band shows. You've helped us out on a lot of our shows. I mean, you used to go to our shows. And you were in a band, too. Like, what band were you in for a long time? What was your main band?
Infestation.
Infestation, right? With Paul, right? Didn't you were in a band with Paul for a while, right? Paul Merrill.
Yeah, that's with Paul Merrill.
Yeah. Now you playing these days?
Before that, I was in Morbid Faith.
Okay, yeah. Were you ever in a band with Scott Whitfield? I can't remember.
With what?
Were you ever in a band with Scott Whitfield? Remember the drummer of was he in Fatal
No.
Raid? Oh yeah, I was thinking you played with him for a little bit. No. What about Roy Stanley? Were you ever in a band with Roy Stanley?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He kind of took over. Well, he didn't take it over, but he I got kind of kicked out of Infestation because I moved to Fairfield instead of being in Modesto. Or not Modesto. Yeah, Modesto. And or Merced. I can't remember anymore. Merced. And so then the whole band kind of changed.
Yeah.
I had a little resentment for a while. Then I kicked myself in the butt and realized, shit happens.
Yeah. Kind of like me when I got kicked out of Will-O-Wisp. My own band I formed was like, but because my addiction was so crazy, I was fucking up the band, and I was pissed off at first. But then you start thinking about I would have kicked myself out too. I was being a jerk, and I was being a train wreck basically. And but we're glad to have you here, brother.
Welcome.
And you've been sober, right? Because I'm sober now. Now you said you've been sober from alcohol, right?
I've been sober off alcohol, for 4 years.
Nice.
Nice. Good job, man.
I'm coming on my 12th year. December 23rd will be my 12 years coming up.
Yeah, I want to quit THC also, but it's hard.
Yeah,
can't do it.
Yeah, you gotta keep one vice.
Yeah,
keep the healthier vice, I guess. But
right.
it's all, but it all depends. Like if you feeling that maybe it's holding you back or from something, and then you just gotta it is hard. But so with alcohol, it was hard to quit, but you did it. So you just gotta have that same mind frame and. You can quit. Yeah. You just got to put your mind into it, put your back into it, and your mind into it. And you got it. All right. So what we're doing is me and Nico here from Darkness My Desire. You should check out his band too. I think I'll play a clip in a little bit. We're counting down our top 10 black metal from 2023 releases. Now I know you're not really much of a black metal guy, but you're more like. Is there any albums that stand out for you this year so far? Like, do you have like a top release of a metal album? What is that? That's Obituary, right?
Obituary.
Yeah. That's actually going to be in my top 20 of the main albums of the year. I'm going to be doing that video soon. Yeah, maybe I'll have you on that for that.
And then Pantomime.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah.
I love that album.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it's all covers, it's great.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the Ghost. Yeah, Pantomime. Yep. Yeah, I was debating whether I want to put that on my top 20 list because it's mostly covers, but then And I'm thinking maybe I will, but I don't know. There's so many records. I have like 50 records I have to choose. I have to narrow down to 20 of the best of 2023 out of 50 records. And, and that's not even all that came out this year. Like then we got 2024 coming around. We got Mick Mars. We got Ace Frehley.
Oh, so much. Yeah.
Sebastian Bach, which is one of my favorites, and a lot of good bands. And we've been going down our list, and we're at our number 4 right now. Where do we leave off? It was My Lamp of Murmur was number 5. What about for you, Nico? You're going to your
number
4,
5
right?
was I'm going into number 4. So my number 5 was Outlaw. We're going into number 4 here. Yeah. It's a local band actually from Calgary that I discovered at the Uada concert that I went to recently. Okay. A band dropped off, so they ended up opening as like an emergent. Actually, it was supposed to be Cloak was supposed to be performing, and this band here from Calgary called King's Rot, and their album's called At the Gates of Adversarial Darkness, and they took over for Cloak on that show, and they blew my face off.
Yeah, I downloaded a clip from them, and I was like, when I listened to them, I was like, damn it! So they're a local band.
They're a local band here. Yeah, they just got signed to Hypnotic Dirge Records, so good for them, boys. If they're watching, hails to you guys.
Is that new album? Is that new album on that record label? The new album that they have?
Yeah, that's it's come out this year, and then so they got I think the vinyls are shipping out in January or something.
Okay,
but yeah. So
here's a clip. Here's a clip of King's Rot for those that. And check this out, Mike. Here's some black metal for you, brother. see, it's about like, it's not about the technical riffs, it's about the emotion that's coming through the movements of the
atmosphere.
chords. And, the atmosphere is what it's all about. Atmosphere and melody. Like, there's a lot of, you hear those underlining melodies that are going on that you don't really hear in a lot of like technical prog or death, which I love too. I love it for that aspect. But when you want to hear just some melodies and some real gothic sounding stuff, that's where black metal sort of differs from like your typical like death metal bands or thrash metal bands and things, which are good. But there's a lot of typical black metal. There's a lot of typical thrash. There's a lot of typical death. There's so many different genres. To me, it's just all metal, man. But
hell yeah, it's all good.
Right. Yeah. So my number 4 is.
What do you got?
Which I'm finally glad that I got it finally, and it should have been higher, but the only reason why it's not higher is because I just haven't got a chance to really delve into it yet. But it's Iwata's new album.
Fair.
Iwata. I'm going to say the name wrong. Crepuscula Natura. You could probably say it better than me. You're the bigger Iwata fan, right, Nico?
Oh.
How do you say that?
Crepuscule Natura.
I need to stay. I should have stayed in school, man. These guys are obviously go to school and shit.
Right? They're smart.
Yeah, they're smart, man. They're learned it. What can I say about Iwata? I mean, this is a band that's mysterious. You don't know what they look like, hardly. I mean, they were like, the lyrics are kind of political in a sense, or would you say their lyrics are sort of political?
They can be, for sure,
The last album, Digin, when I was reading along with some of the songs, it kind of sounded like it was touching base on a lot of like social, political issues.
Definitely,
I wouldn't say anti-fa, but kind of in that aspect of like, I can tell what. They're from Portland, Oregon, so typically Portland's going to be a lot of anti-fa type, views and things like that. So, I definitely want to delve more into like what their songs mean, because they're definitely mysterious. I do have a clip here. The song's called "The Dark" and it's off this album. But I mean, from what I listened to so far, it's such a great record. I mean, and because what I liked it when I first heard them, I didn't know they were from Portland. I thought they were from Norway or whatever. They look like that kind of band, especially when I saw that video and they had those weird looking masks on or whatever. Looked like a wizard or some shit. And then I found they're from Portland, Oregon. I was like, holy shit, this band's fucking badass. And they almost like, there's like when I listen to The Cure, especially early Cure, like the first few albums, like 17 Seconds and Pornography, it almost sounds like they have a lot of that in their music and they incorporate that into the black metal. Like you can hear like those melodic guitars are going.
Their melody, their sense of melody is just like, that's what the appeal to it is for me. It's not so much brutal. It's just like all these different passages that like,
it's not all like
it's crazy. Yeah.
Some good. Here's a little clip of them. love their use of those like dyads chords or whatever. Like chords, and then when they break into like they're like fast, and then they break into that dun that kind of 4/4 time or whatever it is. Or I'm really bad.
Yeah, it's like straight rock beat. Yeah, it's crazy good.
Yeah, and then there's this real melodic and just nice sound, and the whole album is like that. So yeah, so Uwada's number 4 for me.
Nice.
What did you? You're on your number 3. So your number 3. What is that?
So you had it at number 5. I got it at number 3. Well, for me, it was Lamp and Murmur, Saturnian Bloodstorm. Yeah,
nice.
And it started off as number 1, kind of moved down a little bit, moved up a little bit. But yeah, it was just a solid album. Like I said before, it reminds me very much of like 1349, around the Hellfire album type style, just pulling the shit out of you, and
really dark too. Like
really, really dark. Yeah. So yeah, that's my number 3.
I was trying to find out what they look like. I think I don't know if it's like one guy. I thought I saw like a chick in the band. Like it looked like there was one guy and a chick, like with corpse paint on.
Maybe, yeah.
I could be wrong, but like on the back of the CD, it just looks like it's just one guy right there. But
okay,
like one of their older albums, it looks like there's 2 people on the cover. And
they might have gone through some members and stuff, but I discovered them this year, and it was actually their demo, their first, which was their first release, their demo, which is what kind of sold me. They had some weird, crazy bass lines on there, and I was like, "What the shit are you guys doing?" I'm like, "Okay, I'm a fan."
I was on my Google News. I get these sort of alerts for like whenever like I forgot what sites there. There's one guy called Angry something who does like his album reviews, and I believe he reviewed the Lamp and Murmur, and I thought, well, that's a cool sounding name. I was reading the review, and that's what made me click on and go see what they are. And I was like, wow, I discovered that album, and then saw it was 2023. Is okay, I got to get the new album. So yeah,
nice,
cool. So that was your number 3.
Yeah, what's yours?
My number 3 is a band I just discovered this year as well, which has probably been around for a while, and they look like a 2-piece, but and I'm saying their name right, Juder.
Oh yeah.
Juder.
I can't help you with that one.
TSJUDER. Juder, and the album I guess is called Helvigia. Is that Norwegian, you think?
It is definitely Norwegian.
Helvigia. I like the little artwork and shit in there. Like
oh, nice. That's pretty cool.
It reminds me of you remember that Japanese black metal band that was out last year? They had a new album out last called Psy. You ever heard of Psy?
Oh yeah.
The album cover almost looks like the same kind of artwork, and
nice.
I mean, they were on my list last year. Psy was like, I wish they had a
new Psy is a great band. Yeah.
They're almost like prog. I would call them like prog black metal because they kind of break into some psychedelic prog type riffs.
And they use a lot of like traditional instruments and stuff too, which is kind of nuts.
Yeah. Sure, I think I got a clip of Juder. Juder. They're probably watching this. I know they're watching this because they're probably a big fan of the show, right? So
yeah, totally.
You butchered our name. We have to hunt you down. We're gonna have to eat you alive. Here we go. It helps have an image, and I just love the black metal image, and so that kind of sells me a lot on a certain black metal band because that's what I love about your band. Like you guys at least have a cool image, and because like a band like Demon King, which I like, but they don't have like an image. So I'm thinking like, they could be just a death metal or a thrash metal band. It's just like if you took a glam metal band like Poison, and you take all their makeup off, they're just a rock and roll band, It's like,
right? Gotta have an image, kids.
What's that, Mike?
What's the deal with all the guitars? They kind of sound keyboard like.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, it's those chords that because they're strumming full chords, and then
the melody lines,
and they're probably doubling. I know when I wrote a black metal song when I'm writing it for this one guy in his band, and what I do is like I lay down the power chord, and then I'll go over top of it and I'll put my octaves in it, and it's where it sounds like a full chord. I'd rather do it. I like doing it that way because then that way I'm not having to strum all the strings like that, and it sounds kind of cooler when it's separated because you can pan them left and right, and you have that almost sounds like a keyboard, like it would sound like a keyboard following. It's really just the octave playing
that chorus effect.
Yep, definitely. Yep.
It's even funner too. Like if you instead of playing a full power chord, record just the root note and then record the fifth separately and playing along with it, and you get a really cool effect out of it. Because you can play the power chord easily, but it's kind of cool when you separate them and play it like that. Like especially if you have two guitar players. I used to make a guitar player Ibex. I used to say, "Yeah, you play the fifth, I'll play the root," and it just sounded really cool. Like you get kind of a neat dynamic there. Yeah, the Juder. That was my number. That was my number 3, right?
Yeah, number 2. So my number 2 is a band I discovered this year, and they seem to be the rant and rave of black metal these days, which is kind of crazy. But they're called Moonlight Sorcery, and the album is Moonlight Sorcery. Album's Horned Lord of the Thorn Castle, and it's kind of a weird mixture of like. Almost want to say like power metal meets like black metal. It's like very virtuosic, like Joe Satriani playing in a black metal band kind of thing.
Really?
Yeah,
it's kind of. I don't have a clip, so I'm gonna have to look them up. What do they call Moonlight Sorcery?
Yeah. Okay. So they're kind of like the new kids on the block this year. They're kind of like just making waves. It seems like, but yeah. If you're into power metal and you like all those kind of like guitar runs and shit, Moonlight Sorcery is right there for you. Sweep picking and everything. Like I've never heard sweep picking in black metal before.
Oh yeah,
and I was like, oh shit.
Oh damn. Oh shit. Who's trying to call me?
Not now.
Telemarketer. It's a caller calling in for the metal block. Hey, it's one of our listeners. Let's kidding.
Your show sucks. No.
Right. Fucking posers. All right. So awesome. Moonlight Sorcery. Or Sorcerer.
Number 2. Nope, Sorcery. You got it right.
I have to look them up. That's your number 2. My number 2, which we played earlier, was Hell Ripper.
Nice. Yeah.
We'll play a little bit of them for Mike, man. You got to check this band. This is one guy that does all this shit, but he's in the video he's got a whole full band. But Mike, just so you know, a lot of these black metal bands, especially like bands like Hell Ripper and a couple others that we had, a lot of them are just one dude like playing everything in the studio, and then I guess they just get a band live, and they're just loners, man. They don't like being around people, so they just do that shit themselves. Here we go. I love that opening riff. Hold on. But like a blues riff. But
I like that one a lot, actually.
Yeah,
nice.
He's gonna be he's kind of like a new Chuck Schuldiner, I guess. He's a young kid, whatever.
Yeah.
I've noticed it in music. I listen to just the guitars and the bass. I don't really listen to the vocalists.
Yeah.
So if the music isn't gonna draw me in, then I don't listen to them.
Yeah. I get that. Yeah, I'm looking at some certain types of bands, and
that opening riff was killer.
Yeah, it's like I'm gonna have to learn that shit.
For real,
the pentatonic something.
Yeah. It's an old school Metallica riff.
yeah, that's and they got that old school sound. That's what I like about him or them or whatever. Yeah. What's your pronoun? Not him. It's one man.
Yeah, right.
All right, that was your number. That was my number 2. What's your Here we are. Before we get to our number 1, let's do some honorable mentions. I only got a few here.
I got a few. Yeah, you go first.
All right. So what I mentioned earlier was Crypta, Shadows of Sorrow, or Shades of Sorrow. I don't know why they call it Shadows. Is it Shadows or Shades? I think it's Shades of Sorrow. That's really bad. Let me see.
I don't even know.
I have a record somewhere. Here it is. There's the album cover. I like the album cover. It's got the cool, like, freaking.
Yeah, it's a cool one.
Not a Star Wars or some shit. Shades of Sorrow. That's it. Not Shadows. Anyway, she used to be in Nervosa. Fernanda, I think her name is if I'm saying her name right, she's the bass player and the singer, but she's always makes these really cool facial expressions when she sings. And I follow her on Instagram. It's funny about her because she's total death metal and black metal and just real crazy on stage, but she's a full on Beyonce fan. She's always like, she was like, yeah, she was at Beyonce show and she's like crying and stuff because she got to meet her. Oh, I don't know if she got to meet her, but she was just at the show crying or whatever because she got to, like, here we are, black metal, fucking death metal, and she's freaking flying over Beyonce, which I think is really cool. I think she's Brazilian because Nervosa is all from Brazil. Yeah, well, they used to be, but now Preek is the only Brazilian left in the band, and all the other chicks are from like Italy or Greece, and then so Fernanda, I guess she used to be in Nervosa, and I don't know what happened with that lineup. I remember that. I mean, because if you go back and listen to those old Nervosa albums with her on it, I mean, there's some pretty badass shit, some pretty brutal music, but I think they're doing just fine without her, and I think it's so great that they're two different bands. I don't know if they have a rival going on. It'd be great to see a Crypta Nervosa tour. But
that'd be nuts. Yeah.
I'm definitely going to have to get all the rest of the Nervosa albums.
Yeah. Go back and backtrack those because there's some good shit. And I only got the last two albums, like Perpetual Chaos, which is actually a really good album, totally different lineup. But then, like, I do need to get their ones with Fernanda on the vocals and like the earlier stuff. And I stream them on iTunes when I can. Let's see. My other honorable mention is the guy. We got the guy right here sitting here. This is from Darkness My Desire. We should be getting his autograph right now, man. This guy and his guitar player, he's like the main guitar player, right? And he does a lot of the production, Demon, Christopher. And yeah, I mean he's got some
he's a fucking genius, man. I'm telling you.
And you guys put out some really damn good music. I mean, for an unsigned band, two guys in Canada. My boy Nick on the vocals there. I mean, yeah,
so
really nice arrangement, good time changes right there. And like Michael was saying, like the guitars sound like keyboards in certain areas, and
they kind of do, yeah.
When that acoustic kind of broke in, it's like just so nice and crisp and clean, and
that sounded really good.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Do you do any guitars too, Nick, or does he just do all the guitars himself?
He's the one that records them all. I mean, we do write together, so it's not like I'm not playing guitar, but he's definitely superior. He's a superior guitar player to me, so I just let him track.
So when it comes down to tracking, he's tracking all the guitars, right? So, but you guys,
he's pretty much doing all the guitars, right. All the instrumentation. Like we arrange everything together for the most part, but when it comes to actually tracking, like,
yeah,
honestly, like I'll give him the praise. He's the better musician, and he knows that stuff. Like so yeah. Shout out to Demon, my friend, my bandmate.
Yeah,
next time you'll be here.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but definitely.
That's what I really like about prog is the different texturing. And that song definitely had it.
Yeah, definitely. Has some prog in there.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, our influence is not just black metal, right? It's everything. We listen to so much music; it filters in eventually. So, but yeah. Thank you for putting that on your honorable mentions. Appreciate that.
Yeah, man. Hell yeah. And then I got one more honorable mention is a band called Dryad, which I didn't pull up a clip of them, but just Google them. The album is called Abyssal Plain. But
okay.
Yeah, I should have pulled up something on them. But they're kind of in the realm of Lamp of Murmur, like almost have that sound. But they're just so dark and depressing sound. It's almost like I'm not a depressive person, but listening to their music makes me want to sort of slice my wrists and shit. So I listen to it very carefully. I got to be in a really, really good mood to listen to them. But that's what I love about it is it's very expressive, dark, freaking black metal. And I think they're another band that's like either one or two people in it. And I think they they might even have a female in the band. But nothing wrong with having a female in the band. It's like but yeah,
nope.
Guys are better on guitar. Just kidding. You chauvinist. So that was my honorable mentions. What do you got there, Nico?
I got 5, but I'll go through them super quick.
You better have Death Copy on there. Just kidding. I'm just fucking with you.
You gotta release something first, buddy.
I know, right? I know, yeah. It's been like, 5 years.
You gotta put an album out, damn it.
It's in the mail.
Yeah, right. But you are good. I will give you praise. I do like Death Cryptopia.
Thank you, brother.
You're welcome. I'll go. First one's Mork. The album's called Dip It. Nice. Mork is like Norway. If you like Dark Throne, you like Mork. Yeah. You had it on your list for top 10. It's Black Braid, their album number 2. So I put it on my list because it just didn't quite get there for me. But another solid album. Here's another Portland band for you that you might not know. It's called None, None, and the album's called Inevitable. It's more of like atmospheric, kind of really slow and doomy sounding. And then the last 2 you'll definitely know. Actually, they're live albums, which I don't usually like live albums, but the band Triumph Death, which is basically Hellhammer, if you remember Hellhammer. Back in the 80s. Started
off from they were before it was Tom Ware before Celtic Frost.
Yeah, exactly. So they put out a live album called Resurrection of the Flesh, which is solid. If you want to hear Hellhammer songs, that's pretty much like the best way to hear them is on that live album. And then last one here is Watain put out a live album also called Die in Fire.
Oh, so I got to get that. So live album is a live album by Watain? Okay, cool.
Yeah, so that's my honorable mentions. 2 live albums, which again I don't normally like live albums, but those are 2 solid live albums.
Is it safe to say that Black Braid didn't make your list because of the color of their skin? I mean, just kidding. You racist.
No, definitely not. Yeah.
I know. No, but Black Braid is a damn good band.
Because he was drunk.
Because he was drunk. He was a drunken fool, man. Hey, I've been there, done that. Been there, done that.
All good.
Right. So number 1 for you. Your number 1.
My number 1.
2023, the best black metal album of 2023.
All right, so my number 1, and I might be a little biased because this is just like my favorite black metal band of recent times. It was on your list, not quite at number 1, but for me, number 1 is I don't know if you can see that, but it's Uada.
I kind of had an idea that was probably going to be your number 1.
Yeah. So the thing I'll say about this album, it's not my favorite Wada album. My favorite Wada album is Cult of a Dying Sun still. They haven't beat that one yet for me. But this one reminds me very much of like their first album production wise. It seems like they took a step back in their production a bit. Not quite as clean, but all the great melodies are there. Everything that I love about Wada is like they just keep putting out albums that are just like blowing my mind.
And you
opened for them, right?
You opened for them, right?
I have opened for them,
you have a bit of a history with those guys.
Yeah, on a band that I was in before, on Wada's first tour, on their first album cycle, we opened for them, and I was a fan ever since. So it's just with the covering of them faces and just like the whole mysticism behind them. It's a whole like package deal. It's not just the music. It's like everything that they represent for me is top tier. And I'm glad to
see him unmasked. You get to see the singer unmasked. Like, you know what he looks like.
I've seen them unmasked, yeah. Because when they're playing shows, they walk around with like the rest of us, right?
Somebody told me that he masked himself mostly because he's insecure about his looks or something. Is that you think that's a fair assessment, or do you think it's more just like a?
I think it's more just a kind of.
Just by seeing his eye, he doesn't seem like he'd be a bad looking guy, but you know.
No, I think it's just more to keep the mystery of the band. Like, you know, you're kind of disassociating the character from the music, right? It's just like Wada as an entity as opposed to like a particular individual, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, and I hope they stay that way because I was disappointed when Ghost had to unmask themselves. You know, like when guys had to go. Like, I really wanted to keep it going. I was like, okay, they have a different singer every album or what? Like, is this, you know, I was starting trying to play the guessing game. Like maybe the drummer switches to be the singer on this album, then they rotate or something like that. But then you find out it's just that one dude, and because he got sued by his past band member.
Oh, his former member.
Should have paid him on time, man.
Right? You're making the money. Come on.
So
that's my number one. What's yours?
Number one is the band that that you had on your honorable mention, and it's just I was just jamming this today. Is Mork?
Nice.
But it's just such a, and I don't even understand the lyrics. They're all singing in like I guess Norway or whatever they're from. There's no English lyrics, but I'm learning how to speak their language just by singing along to the you know. And they're a black metal band. It's not full on blast beats. They're kind of like when I was talking about that earlier, that Immortal album, where it's just like some really just good solid beats and really you know, tasty guitar melodies. It sounds very very gothic in a sense. I mean, like I like to compare a lot of these bands that kind of have that sound. I almost feel like maybe they listen to The Cure's Disintegration and they say, okay, let's take a lot of those moving melodies that just kind of go in all these atmospheric places and let's put them into some black metal and that's what it feels like that anyway. Because I remember Celtic Frost when they came out with Into the Pandemonium. You know, I was always a big Celtic Frost fan, and also they came out with Into the Pandemonium, and that album was very different sounding. It almost sounded and his voice sounded like Roz Williams from Christian Death, and then later on I read Tom Moyer. He said that that was his influence was Christian Death and The Cure and stuff. And I didn't know that early on when you listen to Celtic Frost as a teenager, you're just thinking this is another black, or not black metal, but whatever they called themselves back then.
Obituary that turned me on to Celtic Frost.
Obituary. Yeah, I'm just getting into Obituary. I've always been into Obituary. I just never owned any of their records. I remember Paul would always jam them, and always loved the album cover artwork. But I did buy their new album, and so now I'm going back and listening to all their older stuff that I listen to a little bit more deeper because their new album is really good.
Yeah, it's really good.
I think
the stuff with James Murphy, the Cause of Death album, awesome.
Yeah, they're definitely
100%.
They're definitely going to make my top 20 of main records, and so that was my number one. Let me play a little bit of Mork here, just so Mike Rammel can get an idea of what we're talking about here. Nice. Almost sounded like the Killers. The beginning, the main chord progression, the beginning almost sounded like a Killer song, like by the Killers.
Kind of, yeah.
Is a lot of the musical form of black metal the tremolo picking?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely a lot of tremolo. What makes it sometimes interesting is when they don't tremolo pick over like a blast beat and they're just sort of just doing like this kind of strumming,
straight chords. Yeah,
it sounds kind of cool when they do that too. Matter of fact, somebody was telling me that someone was giving me like a song idea. He's like, yeah, you should speed up the drums or just record the music, speed it up, and then just play halftime chords. And I go, well, that's kind of what black metal kind of does sometimes, like.
Yeah, a lot of times, yeah.
It'd be a lot easier to do it that way than the.
I do like the sound of the vocals. I like that ghoulish.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very, very, very cool. And it's definitely a different style than death metal vocals, but it's almost as similar. I notice like that's why sometimes I make fun of metalcore bands or like bands like Avatar and stuff like that, because when they do the black metal vocals, like they're going wah, wah, like they do kind of like a push out type of the phrasing.
Yeah.
It just doesn't sound cool. I guess it sounds cool to probably the younger generation, but to me, I want to hear gargling and all that shit. I don't want to hear sounds very rehearsed, I guess you could say. It's like the metalcore style.
Definitely. Yeah.
Okay, so here we are. So Mork was my number one, and number for you was Iwata. Wow. So they won the year for black metal. Now let's get on Mike again. Mike, black metal.
Turn you on to some black metal.
You already got a little taste. Now we want to show you some black metal that's probably like Nick was saying, there's some that's not so much so simplistic in a sense, and maybe there's some technical stuff in some of it. Like, there's a band that I might show you that I'll be showing you that has some, like you heard a little bit of that with the Hell Ripper, like you could hear those technical sounding guitars and stuff. And yeah, it's definitely.
Is there any stuff with two guitar players that are playing different things?
Totally. I don't know if we have any of that right now, but definitely there's bands like that.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I think like when you do hear like those where it sounds like there's keyboards, that could be the two guitar players playing two different things. I mean, possibly because it's something what I do, and what I like is when a band will play the same chord, but one band like so Ace and Paul of Kiss are very known for this. They'll play the same chord, but they'll just play two different voicings of the chord. Like if Paul's playing like a major bar chord, then in the fifth position, Ace Frehley's going to play that same A major chord in like the seventh position or whatever, so it's kind of it kind of gives you that neat kind of flavor, and that's what makes it. That's what makes their music sound kind of unique in a way, as opposed to typical rock. And I think Rolling Stones do that too. Where they play.
I first got into listening to that stuff with Slayer.
Oh yeah,
do those harmonies.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so evil sounding.
Yeah, you think Slayer?
Of course, yeah.
You think Slayer come back? I keep having a feeling like Slayer's going to come back eventually.
I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't think Tom Araya is coming back.
Yeah, you think he's
no?
Done? I don't care.
It's up to him. I feel like, yeah.
Gary's putting together a new band, but
he's got a new band. Yeah, so
he's got a new band. I think he's supposed to have Phil Anselmo play vocals on there or something.
I have no idea. Yeah,
I think he's got Paul Bass stuff.
He's got what?
He does for drums. Yeah,
Paul
he
Bass
does have.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Okay, let's see. So we got some things lined up. Have you ever heard of a band called Dimmu Borgir, Mike?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so that's one of, and you probably haven't heard them in a long time, but there is a pretty cool song that Nico picked out that we're gonna play for you. And this is like early, when did this album come out? Like I want to say 2000.
Early 2000s, yeah.
Early 2000s, yeah. I think I might have saw them in concert on this album. I know I saw them when they came in LA.
Nice.
I can't remember. I know I saw them in Cradle of Filth. Can't remember if I saw them at the same time. I remember saw them, went to a party, and two of the guys from Dimmu Borgir was at that party, and one of them was going to bang the chick that threw the party, but I was trying to warn him not to bang her because she actually bangs the whole town, But I think he ended up staying the night with her, and hope he didn't catch anything because this chick was pretty raunchy. But he was all over her that night, So. Yeah, I remember seeing them in concert, and I went to that party with them, but I think they were on the same bill as Cradle of Filth one night, but I don't know, it was in LA sometime. I remember it was when Cradle of Filth had what's his name on drums, the big heavy guy with the bald head.
Oh, Nick Barker.
Yeah, Nick Barker. Yeah, badass drummer, man. He just like stands in one spot, but his feet are going.
Yeah.
He's like, doesn't even
for
move.
A big guy, he's pretty good. Yeah.
It's crazy. All right, here's Dimmu Borgir. Let me see what you think about this, Mike. And we'll give it a rating, like to say from a scale from 1 to 5, 5 being the best, like that's really fucking badass. 3 or 1, like I don't really care for it. Okay.
Okay.
I remember when I first heard that song, I remember that part I used to think of Popeye for some reason.
Yeah.
I am this and I am me. I am what I am.
I might be disappointing you, but I give it a 1.
You give it a 1?
It kind of reminds me of Static X.
Yeah.
I can't stand
fair.
that either.
It does. Yeah, I was going to say, because it does have a very industrial sound in that. I mean, they have like way more intricate
now, when the vocals changed, I like the vocals a lot better.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's mostly because it sounds like.
But I like guitars to actually do something.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I did like the fact that the kick drum and the guitar player were in sync.
Yeah.
But it just stayed in the same place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they're very keyboard oriented too. I would imagine
they can be. Yeah.
Like they're actually like, especially on the album that came out after this one, I believe, is when I forgot what the video was, where they're like fucking just, you can see the keyboards are all shaking. It's like an earthquake or something on the video. But very, very keyboard heavy band later on. I haven't heard them in a long time. That's like first time I started listening to Dimmu Borgir in a long time. But yeah. Okay. So what about this other band called Belphegor?
Belphegor.
What's the song called?
I've heard of them too, but I've never actually listened to them.
Yeah, I think I used to have one of their records early on back when I lived in LA, but I can't remember if I came across it. I think someone gave it to me, but I just don't know if I ever listened to it. They've been around
I picked this one because they've been around since the 90s, but they're more of like a black and death metal band. So their roots are in black metal, but they do lean heavily towards the more death metal side. So it's kind of why I picked this one, and it's got a kind of a neat groove to it. I couldn't tell you what the song's called because it's in German, and I know it's
German.
Like
it's Geister Treiber,
something. Something.
Something weird.
Sorry,
like
Belphegor.
Belphegor. Is that how you say their name? Belphegor.
Yeah.
Like a fucking Harry Potter character.
Kind of, yeah.
Here we go, Belphegor.
Yeah.
What would you give that? Higher than Dimmu Borgir, you think?
Yeah, I give them a 3.
I
could listen to it.
Yeah.
I was getting into it when you cut it off.
Yeah, there's more like guitar squeals and stuff further on in that song. Oh yeah, they're more like
what I'm
more
hoping
technical band. Yeah, it's copyright shit. I got you.
Yeah, I'm hoping real good. Yeah, I'm hoping some of this. I was thinking about myself. I was like, well, fuck, what is in a second? Like some of this is blocked or whatever, and I have to edit it out, But just so the audience knows, if it looks weird that you didn't hear no music, we just heard Belphegor, and Mike just gave it a 3. But just in case, because it'll come back and say, "What are they talking about?" It's like, I didn't hear no music. Well, because damn YouTube cut it off, man. But yeah, but I think we'll be okay. Like a lot of these bands, like it's usually bands on the big labels like UMG or Sony or whatever. Yeah. Those are the ones that I'm still getting freaking Facebook notifications. We have to mute your video that I posted like 3 years ago or 2 years ago. So just remove that shit. You don't have to fucking notify me every 5 minutes. Okay, Sony blocked it. Like I'm trying to make money off it or something. Like, I'm really gonna make a lot of money off of some shitty sounding fucking video. It's like I'm reap the royalties. Fuck. If anything, it's turning people onto the music. Shit.
Right.
They should be. The singer had an interesting way of rolling his R.
Oh yeah. Very.
That's the German. They're Norwegian, but okay. The cool thing about Belphegor is they sing in about 6 different languages, and sometimes within the same song, they bounce between like Latin, French, English, Norwegian, German, and sometimes within, like I said, the whole same song. So, which is kind of cool. Yeah. But they're definitely more of a technical kind of band. Like if you hear some of their other stuff, you'll hear like guitar runs, even some picking in there and stuff.
I'm gonna go back and listen. I'm gonna go back and revisit some of their stuff because like I said, they had their album a long time ago. I probably just didn't listen to it because I was drinking and doing drugs and shit. And I was telling somebody earlier, I think from 91 to about 2011, I think I might have really bought like 10 albums and I was just mostly into doing shit with the band and wasn't into like music, nothing. But now I'm sober. It's like I'm just every day I got new shit coming in the mail and I'm just buying. I think I'm making up for lost time or some shit. That's crazy.
There you go.
Belphegor. Okay, so this band I'm going to play for Michael. I found it, and it's a band I discovered this year, and they were on my top 10 list. They were at number 7. Is Demon King, and what I like about them is they're black metal, and they don't really have the full black metal image. They don't really show them in this video, but they're almost like Hell Ripper, just very technical sounding guitar work, and at the same time, just very brutal. So here we go, Demon King, cheesy name, but cool band. Fucking riffs is like there's no way I'll be able to figure that shit out.
Okay, I'll get that one a 4.
You get that about a 4? Nice. Yeah. Some technical.
I like the singer. I like the guitar playing.
Yeah, and very well produced as well too. Like you can hear every little it sounds like there's like 7 guitars going on in there, and you can almost hear every one of them playing something different, and it's like pretty cool. And there's little harmonies in there. Sound like it fits, like harmony fits or whatever. But
yeah, it's like tech death meets black metal.
Yeah,
that's actually a song I'd like to see the lyric sheet.
Yeah,
for sure.
Matter of fact, I think I got on my CD the lyrics, but wonder what they sing about. Demon King. This is a band called Mental Cruelty, and Nickel turned me onto these guys, and they're very different sounding. They're not even. I would guess you could say they're black metal. They're obviously black metal in the black metal category and stuff like that. And they cool album cover artwork. If I wanted to see what I thought I pulled up a picture of their album cover. Very, very somber looking.
Mm-hmm.
You can almost lose yourself in that artwork. But they're called Mental Cruelty. But the song is called. What's the song that you sent me? I didn't write the title down.
Is it Nordless or something? Yeah,
something like that. Yeah, and the album is called Zeet something, and Zweltic, ZWIELICHT. Some other language, Spanish, I guess, whatever it is. Let's get here we go.
Färbt sich schwarz das Licht der Nacht, ein letzter Strahl mich trifft. Mein größter Feind, mein eigener Geist, Schatten im Haupt, ein Gift. Ein Schleier dicht sich mich hüllt, es Odem und Kraft mir raubt. Harter Boden, elend weich, mein Licht ist nun ertaubt. Es färbt sich schwarz das Licht der Nacht, ein letzter Strahl mich trifft. Mein größter Feind, mein eigener Geist, Schatten im Haupt, ein Gift. Ein Schleier dicht sich mich hüllt, es Odem und Kraft mir raubt. Harter Boden, elend weich, mein Licht ist nun ertaubt.
You got like a split string guitar or whatever.
Yeah.
Wow. Wait, it
So
started
the
out with-
intro is very deceptive.
Yeah, I was thinking like I was very meditating. I was almost saying, yeah, you can meditate to this, you know.
At the beginning of the song, I was like, okay.
I was thinking like I know when you were telling me that you're not very much of a vocal guy, like I was like, oh, this is all singing. Mike ain't gonna like this because it's almost all vocals and But good.
I knew it was gonna change though.
I would give them a 3.
Oh, 3. Okay.
Yeah.
I like some parts of it. When the guy started growling really low, that was really cool.
Yeah.
But it kind of reminded me of Black Dragon Force.
Okay. Yeah.
Kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, I could hear that. Dragon Force.
Yeah.
I try
That
to get
song
into,
in particular for sure. Yeah.
I try to get into Dragon Force, but like almost all their songs sound the same. Like I've tried to I remember when they first came out a long time ago. And I heard their newer song. I forgot what it was for some video game or something like that. But it's like,
oh yeah,
it's just too happy. A lot of that power metal, like I like Halloween. I love Halloween. Like everything they do is great. But like it seems like other power metal bands. It seems like I try to get into Powerwolf. I just can't get into those guys. It's like just way too campy, and every song is like like happy go lucky and fucking.
It sounds like somebody sped the record up too much for me. I just can't.
Yeah. It almost sounds like I guess that new Dragon Force song. I guess what the thing about it, I guess they play like 10 10 or no 20 something notes per second or something like that, like a tenth of a second.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's really fast. But I'm thinking that it sounds to me like they're probably speeding that shit up, like they're recording it as fast as they can, and they just speed that shit up. And
yeah,
I hate to think that that's what they're doing, but I don't know. But I know that guitar player is a really good guitar player.
Yeah, he's a nuts guitar player.
Think about Powerwolf though. I was talking about Powerwolf, how I don't really care for them, but they did a cover of Bark at the Moon that they just really
cool.
they nailed it. I was like, okay. I was like, I had to give them props for that because I thought they were gonna butcher it like fucking. But yeah. So you gave that about a 3. I was gonna play yeah. So here's a black metal band. It's a female black metal band. I think I pulled them up. They're called Ostagram, and they're a 3-piece. You know, this album came out. I think this is from their album. I want to say it's from their second album. You know, Nico told me they just released a new EP, which I got to track down. But yeah, they're just straight black metal. Let me play these ones. Pretty brutal stuff. Women can play like that,
right?
The hell's up with that shit? What are they eating? What's in their water? No, I heard. Their first album to me was. This is obviously from their second album, but I think their first album was more unique because they were playing a bunch of weird chords and different. Very dissonant sound and stuff. Whereas this is just straight brutal freaking. It's not like they're trying to reinvent the wheel of black metal. It's just straight black metal, and it kind of it reminds me of like the older school stuff, like the Bathories and the early Mayhem. And stuff like that,
I like the vocals, but guitar wise, it doesn't.
Yeah, it's very kind of muddy, kind of all the kind of thrown together, kind of sound like. But it's a raw and an intensity which makes that, I guess, and it helps to have the corpse paint. You got to have the corpse paint if you're gonna.
Of course.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, man.
I'd probably get into it if I was in the arena with them.
Yeah, like if you watch them live or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you got one of their phone numbers and was able to go home with a couple of, yeah, nothing wrong with that. A little bit of black metal tail, man. We got his shit. Nothing wrong with that,
right?
Watch him get canceled now. Cancel him. They're objectifying women, black metal women. Cancel. Yeah. This has been real, man. So this has been really cool.
Yeah.
So Mike, what do you think about black metal, man? Are you at least somewhat of a fan? Are you going to explore it a little bit more?
I probably will.
I want to give you some homework, man.
Yeah.
I want you to write a black metal song and have it on my desk by next week at
Monday. You just need 3 chords. You'll be fine.
What you learn from about black metal, write us a black metal song. Keep it all in minor chords and dissonant chords. A lot of diminished and minor chords.
Yep.
There were some bands that you guys played that were really I liked a lot.
Yeah.
But for the overall, I still have a little bias.
Yeah. I think the beauty of it is that's the beauty of it. It's just that Some of it's going to hit you.
I'm still an AC/DC head, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, AC/DC can never do no wrong on my, as far as
They can play the same song for 40 years and they're still good.
Yeah. I'm hoping they go on a tour this next year, but
yeah, that'd be nice.
They did okay at that power trip, so that was a test to see, can AC/DC still do it? It's been 3 or 5, 6 years since they went on stage, and I think they pulled it off pretty good. So, but can they do a full tour? That's the question.
Yeah, I don't know.
Angus was moving around pretty good he's got to be like 70 years old, probably almost 70.
Yeah, no doubt.
And he kind of looked cool with the gray hair instead of
in the schoolboy outfit.
Yeah.
He's kind of lost his ability to do those really fast leads, but hey, at that age.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
As long as he's still doing something.
Right.
All right, guys. Well, hope you all enjoyed this episode of the Metal Block, Black Metal. And again, Michael's number one album for him is Obituary. What's that one album? What's the name of that album again? Even though
Dying of Everything.
Yeah, Dying of Everything. And then Nico's number one Black
Can't
Metal.
Wait for the new Dream Theater with Mike Portnoy.
Yeah, the return.
Yeah.
And I also can't wait for the new Ace Frehley album. It's really good.
I know, that fucking he's definitely pulled it out, man.
And what's his name? Mick Mars is really surprised.
Yeah.
He's now.
The 2 songs he's put out so far, I'm digging them. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, this sounds like 6 a.m." But nah, I don't think so. I mean, I think maybe because the vocals are a little bit kind of commercial sounding, and 6 a.m. has a commercial vocal, but yeah, he's doing it. I think he's put out way better music than Motley Crue's ever put out in a long time. You know?
Definitely, yeah.
I hope he blows Motley Crue out of the water.
Right.
I mean, I am curious to see what their music is going to sound like with John 5. You know, suppose it's heavy. You know,
it'd be great to have Motley Crue open up for Mick Mars.
Right? I wouldn't doubt it, man. Shit, I can see that happen. And it's Sebastian Bach. His new song is fucking pretty badass. It's like, you know, it's pretty much of a banger. Like it sounds like something you'd hear off of Slave to the Grind. You know.
Yeah.
And I hope he does better than Skid Row's doing now. But Skid Row's actually, their last album was really, really good with that new singer. But
nice.
I haven't heard any of it.
Yeah, I mean it's forgettable. I mean it's good, but it's kind of forgettable. But Sebastian Bach, his new song is like it's still stuck in my head and heavy. It takes you back to the time when that rock and metal just punched you in the face. And, you know, all about attitude, and the video's funny as hell. The video's cool, and you know it's like
nice.
Yeah, so he's definitely bringing it. So yeah, so the Metal Block. This is episode 4, Black Metal special.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thank you for being on here, Michael, and Nico, also known as Ghul from Darkness My Desire. Go ahead and check out Darkness My Desire.
Please,
and also check out the interview I did with them two episodes ago. We covered some good ground on that, and keep an eye out on these guys. They're gonna be signed to Seasons of Mist soon. That's my prediction. Yeah,
maybe.
One of these days, there's gonna be a guy that's gonna be seeing you guys at a club. Have you guys played out yet? You haven't played out yet, huh?
Not in this iteration, no. Hopefully next year we got some stuff lined up.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think if you guys start playing out, I think you're gonna see some serious. Because you guys are that good. Yeah, you guys are that good.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
But you know, these days you don't need the record label. Just keep doing what you're doing. Just fucking.
That's the plan, man. Keep going forward. Someone likes us, they'll sign us.
Why get on a label and have to owe them money that they're going to be fronting you, and you're just going to make the same money back yourself? And you know,
exactly right.
You just got to push a little harder. That's all.
That's all.
That's what it's all about. Yeah. All right, guys. Be kind to everyone. Be kind to yourselves. And like I say at the end of every episode, if you're not good to yourself, you're no good to anyone else. All right, so horns up. Peace out.
Hail
Satan.